He described his life as one where the black dog of depression chased him nearly every day of his life. This may be you. This may have been you. Maybe where you are now. Listen, there's hope for you. So I want us to be in 1 Kings chapter 19 today. 1 Kings 19, we see Elijah, a mighty prophet of the Lord, on the run, on retreat. Remember the context of this mighty man of God. He has said for 3 years, at my word, it will not rain. And it did not rain for 3 years in all the land of Israel. I mean, wicked King Ahab, he set up altars to Baal. The prophets of Baal are emerging. Jezebel, his wife, has killed the prophets of the Lord. And Elijah says, at my word, it will not rain. And so Ahab goes to hunt Elijah down, and he cannot find him. At the end of that 3 years, he goes and he speaks to a man named Obadiah. He says, I need you to get Ahab and all the prophets of Baal and meet me on Mount Carmel. We're going to have a showdown. So he shows himself and he says, we're about to have a fight. And if you remember the story, on Mount Carmel, it's Elijah and all the people are gathered. They're watching. It's like a big old MMA fight. And it's Elijah versus 450 prophets of Baal. And they both bring bulls and they both make altars and they both kill those bulls. And Elijah says, you go first. Call down fire from your God. See what happens. And they call down fire and they wait and they wail and they cut themselves. And the word says, as was their custom. Nothing happened. And then Elijah says, all right, my turn. Tell you what, here's the altar, 12 stones for each of the 12 tribes of Israel, and the wood on the altar. They take the bull, they slaughter it. Then he says, I want you to, and he digs a pit. I want you to fill this pit with water, just jars. Pour all this water on it. He says, pour all this water on it 3 different times. He makes it as hard on himself as he can. And he says, all right, Lord, do your thing. And fire falls. And the people cheer like, victory. And he says, all right, get all these prophets and let's kill them. And they take all these prophets of Baal and they put them to the sword, 450 of them. Major victory. He fought for the glory of God. Notice what happens. 1 Kings 19, 1 through 4. It says, Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah saying, so may the gods do to me and more also if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by this time tomorrow. Then he was afraid and he arose and ran for his life and came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a broom tree. And he asked that he might die, saying, it is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am no better than my fathers. You're looking at 2 different guys, I'm saying, right? Just like man of God standing for the glory of God, battling for the glory of God. God brings great victory. And then on the next page of scripture, the very next chapter, we see a weak man running afraid, running away. He's on retreat. He's afraid, he runs, and we see some things about him that we can learn about. See, I think he's exhausted. I think he's depressed. I think he's wondering if the world would be a better place without him. But notice how in the stillness, God cares for us. This is the first thing here. Verses 4 through 8 again. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a broom tree. And he asked that he might die, saying, it is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am no better than my fathers. And he lay down and he slept under a broom tree. And behold, an angel touched him and said to him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was at his head a cake baked on hot stones and a jar of water, and he ate and drank and lay down again. And the angel of the Lord came again a second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you. And he arose and ate and drank and went in the strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights to Horeb, the mount of God. Elijah's a mess here. He's a mess here. He isn't thinking straight. He's not thinking straight about God, about himself, about the situation. He doesn't want anyone around him, so he isolates himself. He is afraid and physically exhausted. See, you can do all the right things and still feel stuck. And this journey of waiting and wondering and hoping and waiting some more can cause you some real apprehension. That's why it says in verse 1 and in verse 7, fret not. Verse 7 reminds you, it takes you right back to the beginning. Fret not, fret not, fret not, fret not. Don't burn with anger. Don't be anxious. Don't be all bound up by that. Instead, put your hope in God. Trust in him. Those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land. But when you're stuck waiting, you often get demotivated. You get depressed. And it's here you often don't take care of yourself physically. You don't sleep well. You don't eat right. Elijah at this moment is physically worn out. He's been fasting for a long time, so his body is weakened. He's just finished a run of marathon proportions, running a full day into the wilderness without stopping. His strength is gone. He's hungry. He's thirsty. He's physically exhausted, and he's under threat. My friend Dr. Ryan Rush at Kingsland Baptist Church says you can mark this down when your body is physically run down and you're worn out. When your diet and nutrition is bad and unhealthy, when you're not getting enough rest, when your nerves are jangling from pressure and anxiety, you are easy prey, a prime target for the monster of depression. Years ago, there was a young Midwestern lawyer who suffered such depression that for a while his friends had to keep watch, and they had to keep all knives and razors away from him because they thought he would harm himself. Here's what he wrote. I am now the most miserable man living. If what I feel were equally distributed to the whole humanity, there would not be one cheerful face on earth. To remain as I am is impossible. I must die or be better. This was Abraham Lincoln who wrote these words. Winston Churchill, the great prime minister of Great Britain, he was famous for saying, never give up, never give up, never give up, right? He described his life as one where the black dog of depression chased him nearly every day of his life. This may be you. This may have been you. Maybe where you are now. Listen, there's hope for you. There's hope for you. As I mentioned a number of weeks ago, in the first week of this teaching, get help. It could be a physiological thing, a chemical imbalance, a hormonal issue or concern. Go see someone. Go see a physician and get referral so that you can get help that you need. But notice God's care for Elijah. Look at verses 5 through 8a. And he lay down and slept under a broom tree. Behold, an angel touched him and said to him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was at his head a cake baked on hot stones and a jar of water. And he ate and drank and lay down again. And the angel of the Lord came again a second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you. And he arose and he ate and he drank. God begins to restore Elijah by ministering to him physically, ministering to his physical needs. I love that God begins here. As Elijah prays to die, God says, just take a nap. Just take a nap. Has him go to sleep. And he gives him something to eat. Right? Elijah wants to die, but God gave him a nap and then baked him some angel food cake. That's what I see. We're all gonna be at Luby's today. Like, where can I get angel food cake? Luby's, I'm sure. Then he gives him something to drink. Then he gives him some more rest, right? And what you may need right now is better sleep patterns and better nutrition. Start there. God is the great physician. He knows more about your health than anyone, and he understands that you need to have good nutrition and good rest. And in your being still, some of you may need to leave the city and go to a place in the country where you don't hear all this, and you actually see stars. You know, there are stars. They're just not in the inner loop. You got to get on out there, and you're like, oh, whoa, look what I've been missing. And notice the beauty of God's creation. We already saw this scripture, but let me share it with you again. Isaiah 40:31. They who wait for the Lord shall, can I say that word again? Shall? They who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. My friend, waiting on the Lord renews us. Waiting on the Lord strengthens us.